As you can see, Russ AFC Offensive Player of the Week award in a row. Dude's putting up fun. It was horrible, I know. See if you can do it again this time against Cincinnati. Now, they were able to shut down Gentry for the most part, but Mr. Gentry has gone super sane since then, so we'll see if they can shut him down this time. That was a draft pick by them, Akeem Nua. They got a freaking gem. Like who it is, it's Margarito Claybrooks. Remember that season when he kept on getting picked up by, I think it was the 49ers? Maybe not the 49ers, maybe it was the Vikings? I don't remember who it was. Kept on picking him up, then dropping him the next week, then picking him up, then dropping him the next week. And they would sign some other dude and drop him the next week over and over and over.
Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 19 on EA Sports. We are just moments away from kickoff, and we've got a good one on tap between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the steel capital of the world, Pittsburgh, PA, at Heinz Field. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Pittsburgh Steelers. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, we look at this Steeler ball club entering play. The streak continues, doesn't it? They come in here a perfect 11-0. Meanwhile, for the Bengals here, they're hitting their stride of late. Winners of 3 of their last 4.
And the way they played last week defensively, you look at the tape, it looks like they had extra guys on the field, and they thoroughly shut down that offense.
The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. Here come the Bengals now to take over. And a glance at the tall signal caller, standing 6'6".
And what's a quarterback's best friend?
Balance?
I think you're right. I agree with you. You know, a lot of guys would say great receiver, right? A terrific offensive line. But I agree with you, balance, because if you can run the ball effectively, that just opens things up for guys who want to throw it and gives you easier passing lanes and easier coverages to read.
And they said balance will be a focus in this one.
Yeah, they don't want it all just heaped on his shoulders, I don't believe. I think they want to make sure they take some of the pressure off.
Here we go now.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Barker. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19. From up near the 40 now after the big play to start. Here's another 1st and 10.
Here we go now.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
So line of scrimmage, still the 39 on 2nd and 10. And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And once again, not much running room, if any at all. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. Now a look at the defensive starters here for the Steelers. They were very strong in that victory from a week ago.
Yeah, they pitched a shutout in that game, didn't they? And those don't come around all that often in the NFL. The ability to keep someone out of the end zone and also from kicking one through the post. Well done.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
That was a very
He
well
saw it
placed
all
kick.
the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field.
No stat screen? Great.
Now let's go. Blue landed.
And on the ground they go. Oh, and now some space to operate. And he'll get this one away up just shy of
First
the
rush of the game
45-yard
already
line.
displays
A big chunk of yardage there, 37 yards.
Partner, is that what you call a quick hitter? That was actually a bolt of lightning, wasn't it? Right out of the gate.
And, of course, on the heels of him winning AFC Offensive Player of the Week 1 week ago.
Here we go now. 3-19.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he'll get this out past the 45 to the 47. In a word, I would say productive, finding the end zone 3 different times.
Is it possible that you're really underselling it? 3 touchdowns, just going to call him productive?
Right. I mean, what do you want?
This guy had a nose for the end zone.
He was good.
Had a snoot full, didn't he? How about that? Big-time game.
Green 39. Green.
A strong running. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you from my days, I remember being in college and worrying all off-season about our season-open opponent, and they had a receiver that could shake and bake with the best of them. I tackled him on the first pass of the game, and the relief was incredible. Ended up having a pretty decent ball game. But if I'd missed him, it would have been a long night.
They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
And they didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
Good solid gain on first down, about what you'd expect from the big guy carrying the ball.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. Both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team. As you make your own defense happy, they're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
And 22 on the season. And the Steelers are able to strike for 6.
I know the play ends up in the end zone with one person carrying the ball, but how about that big mass of humanity that guided him to that spot?
Yeah, they got there, but I love the dive. Always a fan of the dive. 7-0. Elliott now to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So now the Bengal offensive unit back out onto the field. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trite expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, second and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage. Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense if that fell harmlessly to the ground. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense just going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
But no second guessing the call here. It was third and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum because they force them into a likely punting situation.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Fielded just inside the 30. Able to avoid him at the 40. A great return there of 22 yards. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And coming up on their second drive of the game, had the touchdown last time out. Now they have the football back. Chance to really seize early momentum.
Feels to me like they had a really excellent week of practice. It all came together, but I'll bet you it got galvanized in the locker room in pregame. Somehow I think the head coach, his oratorical skills were on point. I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And now he'll tuck it and run. And he'll be taken down right around the 41-yard line. They get 9 yards back on the run there, and they're left with a much more makeable 3rd and 2.
I thought that was a good call. Passing situation on second down, they hit him with a draw instead and pick up nice yardage.
Yeah, because the draw, they're thinking pass when they see that initially defensively, right?
But you know, in today's NFL, most of the time on second and long, when it's a passing situation, pass rushers are on the field and they're only thinking one thing: get to the quarterback. And oftentimes you can bypass them with a running play. And that's why you spend a first-round draft pick on a running back, not for just the fancy runs, but these dirty, gritty 3rd and 1s, 3rd and 2s. That's why you draft him.
Right back to him on 1st down. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Off the corner. Where'd he come from? Well, I guess he came off the corner, but really nice play.
I like when you're able to pose a question and answer it at the same time. That's exactly where he came from, but it's not something that you normally see. Most of the time, we're thinking about those guys covering pass catchers. In this case, he was a big factor in the run game. No gain.
All right, here we go.
The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest ones, maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted. And this is one of the risks you run when you attempt a long field goal. If you miss, the defense takes over at the spot of the placement. So now they've got a chance to get one more drive in before halftime.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Going right side here, and that's complete. They give them a gain of 38.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
They've been playing sound fundamental defense thus far and able to keep this offense from creating a major dent on the scoreboard.
Able to force the incompletion, but still waiting for that game-changing play. You feel like it's coming, the first sack, the first turnover.
In a sense, they're playing old-school defense right now. The new-school defense is what you said, taking the ball away. And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up first downs. So far, 0 for 3 on third down. If that continues, they'll have little chance of winning this one.
And his kick is right there. It's good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board.
This will be taken in at the 1. Oh, twisting away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. And the last go-around for them, they tried that really, really long field goal, couldn't connect.
And in retrospect, I think a lot of people would say, well, why would you try one that long? You hurt yourself in field position. The ball comes out, there. That only helps the other team. But I look at it as maybe it was a double shot of confidence. Confident the kicker could make it. And even if he missed, confident in their defense that they could hold him.
Man open left side. It's Williams. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 23 yards on the play. And they'll go on the ground. And down inside the 40 to about the 38. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down. And they'll run it here. And an alley to run. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. The Steelers able to pick up 18 yards there. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And able to fight forward inside the 15 to the 13. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2. And he's got it. The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another first down. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. So we reach halftime here in the Steel City with the Steelers on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Things definitely getting interesting around the NFL as we begin the month of December. So let's get right to it. We'll kick things off in the AFC North. 2 teams with intertwined histories, to say the least. Baltimore playing host to Cleveland. And it's the Ravens who have the lead as they play the second quarter. The Ravens looking to sew that one up, and they look to be in pretty good shape.
1-10, and they're crapping
Next,
on.
we head off to check out another game. And they currently trail the visiting Philadelphia Eagles. Deshaun Watson, 2 touchdown passes thus far. Finally, let's get to Indianapolis. Check on the Colts at home at Lucas Oil Stadium. And you can see they have the lead over the visiting Tennessee Titans. The Colts trying to hold on and claim victory. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a defensive struggle. Which offense can break through in the second half? To find out, let's hand it over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Stepping up, he'll try and run. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. He'll wind up getting 3 on the keeper there, but it leads to a 3rd down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits.
44. Pittsburgh getting 16 yards there and also a 1st down.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Here we go now.
Stepping up, he's going to keep it. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another 1st down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme, and you can drop it.
And this is caught. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. A great effort there with touchdown number 23 here on the year. And the Steelers are going to add on to their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this 3rd quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
Elliott now to add the extra point. Elliott good on the extra point, and the lead is now 17-3. Elliott now to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this 2nd half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because this.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. chalk that up as their first sack in this game, and they tallied 4 a week ago.
And probably not as much exultation in that sack as what took us so long. Because when you get 4 the previous week, you're counting on continuing that momentum. They didn't get that done in the first half of the game. Let's see now if they start to bring even more exotic pressure towards the quarterback.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Here we go now.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Well, this is what happens when you get behind the chains, as people like to say. When you have obvious passing situations, hard to vary it up and fool a defense.
And you hate those situations if you're an O-lineman, right?
Oh, without a doubt, because you just know they're coming, and you never know exactly how. They can be exotic in their blitzes, or their athletic ability just takes over.
Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. How do you break down his game so far? Just the 1 touchdown pass, but sometimes the touchdown pass stat category, that doesn't tell the whole story.
It really doesn't, not until you balance it with the error side. You know, and in this case, he hasn't thrown any interceptions. So a lot of people would call this almost a pedestrian game, kind of a bus driver. That's just really wrong. Being a bus driver is a good thing if you're running a football team, because that means you're in control and you're taking your team to the right places.
Yeah, he's been pretty solid. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage.